preparing this speech, I couldn't figure out what exactly I was afraid of, but I now have one. I'm afraid of putting paddles. I grew up in Kill Creek. Now, all of you that may have gone to Lawrence on Highway 10 saw the signs near DeSoto, Kill Creek Road. Or maybe you visited Kill Creek Park, just south of there. That's not where I grew up. I grew up in Osborne County, Kansas. I don't know how many of you visited Osborne County. I know Chad has been to Osborne. He actually interviewed there for a job. Fortunately for him, he didn't take it, maybe. But I grew up in Osborne County in an area near Kill Creek. The reason it got its name Kill Creek is because of an Indian massacre that happened there in 1860. Some of you may have read about this if you read the American classic Sod House Days, Letters of a Kansas Homesteader by Christopher Rhoda. Became an international classic. And actually there's a monument that they built there in honor of Kill Creek. I don't know how many historians are. You may have taken the North Central Kansas tour to see all the historic sites there. You may have stopped at the Sod House where the words to Home on the Range was written, come a little further south and visited their birthplace of Russell Stovers in Alton, Kansas. You may have come in from the east and visited Glen Elder, where the world's largest ball of twine is found. Anybody stop there? If you come in from the south, you may have stopped to see the Geodatic Center of the United States on the Mead Farm in southern Osborne County. There's a monument there. Or you may have stopped off at the Garden of Eden in Lucas, Kansas. Anybody's, okay? Or gone up the road a few 15 miles on Highway 18 and visited Paradise. Okay. Well, my little paradise was not there. It was in Osborne County, in Kill Creek Township. Kill Creek Township is a 36 square mile area which has Kill Creek running through it. I actually didn't grow up on Kill Creek. I grew up on a farm 3 miles north of there as a crow flies. If you had to drive it, it would be about 6 miles over some very unique white limestone roads, gravel roads. And if you've ever driven on any of those limestone roads, you know that you get a limestone dust all over your car that probably will take the rest of your life getting it out of every crack and crevice that you find in that car. But I grew up on a farm that was homesteaded by my great-great-grandfather. But it's actually in the middle of nowhere. And in fact, my relatives always question, why did my great-great-grandfather homestead there? And they say, well, he probably was late getting to Kansas, and that was the only place left. But we had a great time there. And growing up there, you learned a lot of lessons. Being that far, and to give an example of what it was like, the nearest town in Osborne County from there was 17 miles. It was kind of centrally located from all the towns. Alton, Kansas was 17 miles to the north. Osborne, Kansas was 17 miles to the northeast. And Natoma, Kansas was 17 miles to the southwest. So we had to be very resourceful. You just didn't run to the hardware store. Home Depot didn't exist there, so you had to be very resourceful. We had to repair things, we had to build things. And one of the things that we were very resourceful for was our food. Now, I grew up on this farm. My father and his brother worked together and grew up on a dairy farm. I don't know how many of you grown up on a dairy farm, but a dairy farm you have to be very, very resourceful. Day starts at 5 a.m. and it might end when you get all of the chores done. You had to. We learned that you couldn't quit until the job was done. So developing a work ethic. I still like to get up at 5 a.m. every morning and accomplish most of my day. We also had a great resource of food. We grew almost everything we ate. We always had, it was a dairy farm, and we always had that favorite cow. I don't know if you've grown up with, but you didn't get milk from any cow. It had to be the special cow. It was usually the Jersey cow because she produced more milk fat. And milk fat turns into cream. How many of you have had homemade ice cream taken from cream, skimmed right off the top of a fresh gallon of milk. It's different than what you get today. I also developed, growing up at the farm, it helped me select a career choice. My hero growing up was the veterinarian. And on a dairy farm, what you have are cows that develop milk fever. It's when she has a calf and there's a great demand for calcium. It leaves her circulation and she becomes paralyzed. And if you don't treat her quickly, she can die. The veterinarian would come out, put a big needle in a big vein, give her a pint of calcium, and pretty much magically she would get up. I wanted to do that when I grew up. Also, when the veterinarian came out, it was usually in the morning, and when he finished, his timing was impeccable. When he finished, there was always a huge farm breakfast to eat. I thought that's what was expected. I've been a veterinarian for 32 years. I have yet to get a breakfast from any of my customers. The other thing is family. We grew up in a community. In that community, there were approximately 30 families. We all worked together, we helped each other out. Someone had a problem, you planted a crop, you harvested a crop. You did things to help each other out. I went back at Thanksgiving time. I looked there. I looked at census. In 1978, there were 431 people that lived in Kill Creek Township. Today, there are 4. One's my mother, who's 84, a brother who's in bad health, and now an elderly couple. My sisters and I have to look to see what we're going to do. Our legacy is we're going to have to make a decision how we handle the farm. That's a topic for later on. We'll discuss later. But now my goal is to figure out how do I get that breakfast.